Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. Oh, excuse me. So no big preamble. Just finished recording my Kaiju number 8 videos. So on to Spy Family next. So without further ado, let us get into Spy Family Mission 58 Part 1 by Tetsuya Endo. I think this is the first time we've gotten a Part 1, Part 2 chapter, isn't it? Seems kind of weird. Alright, whatever, doesn't matter. We see in the park that Lloyd is apparently playing with Bond, who with a ferocious woof lunges towards a poor Frankie who has a bwah as he's got one of those little armor pads around his arm. He's waving his stick as Bond goes in for the kill with a giant chomp and a thump as Frankie falls back. And you have Lloyd going, good. The point is to target arms and legs to immobilize the target. No biting vulnerable areas. You can't extract information from a fatally wounded suspect. You see Frankie just getting mad going, ungrateful cur! Have you forgotten all I've done for you? And poor Bond's just like looking all distraught with a paw. He's just trying to like paw gently at Frankie. Oh, he's such a good boy. And Lloyd's like, no, Bond. Once you have a suspect in your jaws, don't let go. Releasing the suspect endangers you, and repeated biting risks serious harm to the suspect. He's like, maybe you're just too nice, Bond. Barking and biting don't seem to come naturally to you. And you see him thinking with the this poor Bond just looking all fluffy and gorgeous, just sitting there. Frankie starts with a ship and says, so tell me, why the heck do I gotta play the suspect? I'm supposed to be an intelligent asset, remember? It says... Yes, rest of diatribe, cut for space. And Lloyd goes, it's crucial training. This is the way it has to be. And he goes, it's like, what do you mean the way it has to be? Why? According to who? And Lloyd goes, given the state of things lately, we have to be ready for anything, as he gives a little pat to Bond. On his Bond panting as he's coming up for pets. And you, is that pant or pat? I swear to God. Hold on, let me zoom in on this. Yes, Bond panting with a pant as Lloyd just patting him on the head. And he's like, how does that answer my question? And Lloyd goes, alright, that's enough suppression and protection training. Now let's move on to scent work and explosives detection. The real tough stuff. And you see Bond at the start, looking down like all forlorn. As Frankie's like, let me guess, I'm the terrorist planting the bombs? And Lloyd's like, what's the matter? Are you getting distracted already? And Frankie goes, Project Apple is all about developing superior military dogs, right? Maybe all this training is bringing back some bad memories. Lloyd's like, true. It's like, And you see, poor Bond thinking back to all the scientists and the other guys, looking at him with disdain as they go, can't pass this test either? Worthless mutt. This project appears to be a failure. We should dispose of these subjects immediately. Frankie goes, they say that to dogs, training and even live combat are just forms of play. You need to make it fun for him, but I know that ain't your strong suit. Take him for a walk or something to clear his mind. It's like, I'm out. Don't expect me to be here when you get back. Lloyd's like, hey. He looks down at Bond's like, you want to go for a walk? He's like, woof. And you see them just taking a nice leisurely stroll along the river. Bond's just sniffing around. Looks like some birds are doing their business. Bond's just going over to sniff them, and Lloyd's like, you better not eat that. And then Bond's ears perk up as he sees the future, and he sees some kid bumping into a trash bin and accidentally dropping his ice cream and crying, my ice cream! I barely even got to taste it. Some other kids laughing at him going, you loser. Watch where you're going next time. He's like, 2 scoops? More like 2 oops. Haha, that's your new nickname. He's like, no. And you see Bond just glancing around trying to find the kid, and he sees him. He says, 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 scoops of ice cream. It's like, must be nice to be rich. And then poor Bond imagines himself just going like rushing up and stopping the kid from dropping the ice cream with his paw. And Lloyd being all proud, being like, you protected a child's food. Good boy. I'm so glad we decided to adopt you. Oh, poor Bond and his abandonment issues. And you see a yank as Bond just takes off running. Lloyd's like, hey! And you see the poor kid just freaks out. He's like, God, there's a polar bear on the loose. He's like trying to steal my ice cream. You see Bond just trying to futilely paw him as Lloyd's holding him back. He's like, Bond, what's wrong with you? And you see, no! And a splat as the ice cream falls off. It's like, my ice cream! I barely even got to taste it. And poor Bond is just sitting there looking all like, oh. It's like Lloyd's like, I'm so sorry, I'll buy you a new one. He buys the kid 3 scoops of ice cream as he goes out chanting, 3 scoops of ice cream, 3 scoops of ice cream. Like, so lucky, must be nice. And Lloyd's all angry at Bond, like, trying to steal someone else's food? That's not like you, why would you do that? Are you that hungry? Bond just kind of shaking his head. And his ears perk up. And he has another vision of this old man just walking along before a bicycle just comes slamming into him and sending him flying with thud as the old man goes flying. He's like, oh no, I'm so sorry, are you okay? Call an ambulance. And Bond spots the old man and takes off running again. And Lloyd's like, what's wrong with you today? And you see Bond just grabs onto his coat with a chomp and he's like, ah, get this rabid beast off of me. And you see Lloyd just profusely apologizing. The old man just wanders off all grumpy. And you see the bike just kind of passes him by without the collision. And then Lloyd just looking down at him darkly as he goes, biting strangers like that is absolutely unacceptable. Clearly I need to get stricter about your training, as he glares at poor Bond. And he imagines Anya telling him, great job, Bond, you saved the future, with a giant X through it. You have him doing a sad warmp and a wharf. And Lloyd's like, this makes no sense. He completed socialization and obedience training with ease. He's shown no hint of disciplinary problems. My understanding of Bond is lacking. It's the same with Anya. And you see his ears perking up again as he imagines the future with foresight. And a lady going, oh, gross, it pooped on my hat, as a pigeon flies by her. And he imagines the forecast of him trying to go grab onto her coat and Lloyd telling him, that does it, it's back to the pound for you. He kind of just keeps shaking his head. And Lloyd's looking at him going, could he be sick? I'll call the vet. You have a perk and you see a foom. As you see this raging fire. And you see Bond foreseeing this apartment building's going up in flames. You have Daisy! It's like, let's go, lady, you gotta evacuate now. It's like, but my Daisy's still in there. It's like, no, I can't leave her, no! And you see Bond is shocked by this. And you have him just stopping, coming to a halt as Lloyd's trying to leave. He's like, what now? And you see him sniffing around as he's trying to locate the building. And he's kind of just nervously twitching. And Lloyd's like, he's been so agitated all day. And you see him trying to take off again, and Lloyd just yanks him out. It's like, bad dog, no! And with a loud dwarf, Lloyd's taken aback by this, and they come up to the apartment building, which is on fire now. It's like, somebody call the fire department, the flames are spreading fast. And he's like, a fire? Was he reacting to the smell? So Lloyd comes up to the little bystanders outside and goes, is anyone still inside? It's like, luckily we got everyone out in time. So many fires lately. Some people are saying it's arson. It's like, where's the fire truck? And then Bond remembers, the Daisy, my Daisy! He just snaps his leash with his teeth and goes running off. And Lloyd's like, stop, you fool, there's no one in there! He's like, could his nose be telling him otherwise? And the old bystander's like, don't go in there after him! And they see him chasing him in the building going, Bond, Bond! You see a yip, yip, and a thwomp, and a yip, and Bond! You see Bond rushing into a building as a burning piece of wood is about to drop onto him. And Lloyd comes in and kicks it out of the way with a thwack. It's like, ow, hot! It's like, what on earth are you doing? You see a foom, and a huh? And you see this tiny pug puppy with his little collar saying Daisy on it with a yip, yip. Lloyd's like, a puppy? Someone left a dog behind? And you have a yip, and a foom, and a woof. And Lloyd's like, you're just full of surprises today. It's like, we need to get out of here. Can you run like that? It's like, stay low to the ground. And you have a woof as they take off running. But as they do, more of the burning building collapses in front of them, blocking the exit. Jeff, that was the way out. And you whoop, it was Bond is trying to look around, trying to find a way out. So Bond looks like he's starting to panic. I have to keep him calm. So what do we do? I need to think of something fast. And he's yeep as poor Bond, one of his feet is about to catch on fire. See Lloyd putting a kerchief in front of his face to block out the smoke. Ah, all right. So since this is a setup chapter, not too much to say. But I am glad that we're now getting to see kind of like the different family members interacting with each other. So it's nice to see that, Lloyd and Bond are now starting to build like their own kind of relationship and their own connection. So so it'll be interesting to see how that relationship develops, like how the family dynamics are going to slowly start to change around with regards to that. So yes, really loving it so far. Like I'm hoping that we're gonna start seeing like more of this. Like once they start interacting more and more, like we'll see them kind of get the other family members starting to get more involved in Lloyd's side of work. So I wonder if that's gonna be what eventually leads to is like Bond's gonna kind of become his second in command or sidekick on like Lloyd's secretive missions. If he's, I wonder if Lloyd is gonna be able to at least like parse to figure out that Bond has some kind of special abilities, even if he doesn't know what it is. But yeah, I wonder because given that the thing this is the if I'm not wrong, like I think this is the first time we've seen a part one, part two. So I'm wondering if this is potentially setting up like a larger arc within the series that we're gonna see. But yeah, I don't know. Still a little bit too early to tell. But other than that, any Bond chapter is always full of comedic gold. This one was no exception. I love my fluffy polar bear and his like range of facial expressions and just such a big softie. I just love Bond so much. But yeah, a great chapter. Like I mentioned I think I mentioned at the start of this video, I've just finished, but I'll reiterate, I finished recording the Kaiju videos. They're uploading now. I'm going to finish the recording for the next Spy Family chapter, so that one will come out. Both of those will be out by this afternoon at the latest. After that, Kaiju's on break, so it won't be another chapter for a month at least, I think. Or at least a few weeks, because I think it's the start of February the next one comes out. I think next Spy Family chapter comes out next week sometime. So I'm going to try to get back to reacting to them, releasing them when the chapter drops. I'll try to be a little bit better about that. Like I said, keep an eye out. I'll try to get back to the read-throughs in the next few weeks if I can manage it. Oh, don't take my word for it. It's just there's too many variables right now for me to concretely say anything. But I do appreciate everyone sticking around. I know the content upload has been kind of sporadic the last little while, but yeah, honestly, I wish everything was a little bit more stable, so I could have a more consistent schedule. But it's just the way things are right now. I really do appreciate you all. Hope you're all taking care of yourselves. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'd really love to get over that 150 subscriber hump at some point during this year. Yeah, so until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.